What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is a late night Tesla special. For those of you new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. My goal is to help you become financially free, make money, start a business, do whatever you want in life, invest in real estate. I do all of that stuff, and I'm going to help you do that stuff. So just wanted to hop on really quick and talk about Tesla. If you were asleep or missed the news, they just got listed on the S&P 500. This is massive. This is massive news if you're bullish on Tesla. Or really, if you want to understand why this is massive news or why this is important and why it will and should move the price of the stock up here in the coming days. So if you've been watching, you probably noticed that it's jumped up over $60 already just since the announcement, which is a huge gain, right? So it's traded at $460 before. It's not at some new record high, but that is a huge jump up from where it was at closing today. So I'm gonna open up my iPad really quick. So if I scroll down and if we look at the graph for Tesla, clicking on it now, I can see that it's trading at $461.99. Okay, it is up 13% since the end of the trading day, right? So this is up $60 nominally. About 13%, or actually it's up $53.90 nominally. Sorry, mistake, I was doing the math in my head. But either way, that's a big gain. So what does it actually do for the, for us as people who are buying Tesla? What does it do for the company? What are the perks and maybe possible downsides of being listed in the S&P 500? So what this means is for every company in the S&P 500, if you're buying ETFs or funds that track the S&P 500, right? If you're buying a pool of funds that is in that, now those funds are buying Tesla, right? So those funds, by the definition of the way that they, are managing their portfolio, are now going to be investing millions and millions and millions of dollars into Tesla. Now, if you understand supply and demand, as demand or more buyers for something go out and buy that thing, the price will naturally appreciate. It will go up. So everybody who's already holding Tesla, this was actually a big deal. This was something that was supposed to happen earlier this year, where people were, I should say, rallying about it or hoping that it would happen, and then it didn't. And so this kind of just snuck up on us. And this is a pretty big deal. And what's going to happen is not only will the price go up now, but we're going to continue to see it creep up due to its inclusion in these funds. Now, if you're thinking like, Forrest, why is that? Why would it continue to increase? That doesn't make any sense, right? Well, the thing is, if we look at, things like, if I go out to, say, VOO, right? The Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, you can see it right here on my screen. Might be too much of a glare. But this is, an example of one of those ETFs that would now be dumping money into Tesla. If I'm investing in my 401k, or other people are investing in a 401k, right, and they're in an S&P 500 fund, all of that money is continuing to get dumped into Tesla now. So you're gonna have all of these people passively, unknowingly, whether they care about Tesla or not, dumping money into Tesla, thus increasing the demand, thus increasing the price. Now there's a limit to this. It's not like everything in the S&P 500 just appreciates and appreciates, constantly. But well, technically it kind of does. That's why the market continues to go up. But the point is, for something that wasn't in it, right, and was only being traded by people who were interested in it, right now there's going to be much more passive interest, passive investment into this equity, which is going to drive up the price, right? So the daily volume is going to increase considerably, just due to the number of people who are investing in this without even knowing it. So what does this mean? I think you probably should have bought yesterday, right? If you wanted to catch that $53 swing. The next best time is probably tomorrow. In general, I've said in my previous videos, I think that Tesla is a great buy. If you're somebody who was sitting out on the sidelines before, or not really sure if it made sense because it was so popular, and you're hearing like your average Joe's talking about it, there's a lot of red signals. But and even myself, I would say I'm not a financial advisor, right? But I'm bullish on Tesla. It has a lot of things going for it. They have vertically integrated to a considerable degree, right? They sell their own cars. They own their own plants. All the technology is proprietary. There's a lot of hardware and software coupling that has happened within their vehicles that is not replicated, or that they're not buying from other parties, right? And so there's so much proprietary value built into Tesla today that other car manufacturers don't have and are still trying to catch up to, right? So there's a ton of nuance there, and I'm not a mechanical engineer per se, but I do understand software very well as a software engineer, and I understand the amount of true effort and hours and engineering time that it takes to, replicate these things, right? Like self-driving is a great example. We've seen self-driving from Tesla, we see it in a few other companies, but these solutions, even though the outcomes might look similar, the underpinnings and the technology that's creating these things can be vastly different. And even if they're using similar components, again, the software and the algorithms and the things and the data and the models and the way that they're even using these models to make decisions are all vastly different, right? And so it's not something that's easily replicated. All of that is to say that Tesla has been working on that for a long time, and they've went from being this novel company that people weren't sure about to now a company that is pumping out vehicles, just absolutely pumping out vehicles. Now they're in the S&P 500, and if we look at the way that the world is changing, right? I think we all know, and maybe it's not 5 years, 10 years, but we all know that there's going to be a future where there's only electric cars, and we have an electric car company, right? So it's like put two and two together. It would be like knowing that eventually, everybody's going to have a computer, and there was only one computer company. It's like maybe you should buy it, and maybe you'll lose on near-term volatility, but if you just hold on to it, you'll eventually win. That's basically how I feel about Tesla. I think people overthink it sometimes. They try to use models and things. Obviously, it has to sustain itself. Tesla has to make money, right? And we should use our brains. And my advice to you was definitely use your brain. But don't be so skittish. This long-term invest, I think there's a ton of value. There's no reason in my mind why Tesla, assuming it doesn't split again, can't go towards $1,000 or even $2,000 with the amount of market and things that they can do with their technology, selling their technology. There's all this stuff that they can do. So I'm bullish on Tesla, highly. Think that you are really, I'm not going to recommend, right? But it is my opinion that Tesla is worth buying, and if you want to do that for yourself, totally cool. Again, not a professional, huge disclaimer, but do that. Maybe you'll make some money. If you do make some money, send it to me. But in general, I think, and this really goes into just the investing mindset. You need to always be thinking long term. Don't just look at the price of things. Think long term. What is the value? If you could go back 6 months ago and you were reading the news about Tesla possibly being in the S&P 500 and looking at their trajectory, and maybe you couldn't pin down the date, it would have been maybe wise to buy in, knowing that was something that was going to happen in the near future, right? So now you need to be thinking and using that learning, if you missed this event, to think, okay, what can I look for in the future where that might happen or pop again? Where people really lose is, they get lost in the day-to-day, price changes, and they don't look at the day-to-day value that the company is creating that gives them these upside pops later, right? Tesla going from 400 to 450 to 400 to 450 to 400 to 450 7 times doesn't matter. What matters is maybe you getting in at a basis of 425, and then eventually it pops to 550, right? And then it wiggles from 550 to 500, then 550 to 500, and then it pops up to 7, right? That is kind of like the life cycle, and I'm totally just making up these trajectories, but you want to get in volatility or not, at a reasonable basis and ride that upswing over time, so that when you're looking back, it doesn't matter what it's wiggling. It's like, well, I'm up $400. This intraday volatility or intra-week volatility is nothing. Anyways, that's it. Definitely do your own research. Just here again. Really, if you haven't started investing, you need to start. It has been a crazy year. Everybody was saying the market was going to crash after the election. It didn't. I've made the week that the election happened, I made like $5,000. It's crazy. So stop sitting on the sidelines. The best time to start investing was yesterday. Next best time is today. Didn't make that up. A ton of people said that. I'm just saying it to you. So if you like this video, definitely hit the like button like everybody else. I already know you want to subscribe, so go ahead and hit it. And with that, I am super tired because it is 10:55 at night. So I will see you in the next one.